Hey everyone, welcome back to I Want to Talk Movies. We've been out for a while, but I don't think anyone listens, so it's all good.
Oh.
They noticed.
They noticed. Anyways, I'm Andy.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Drew.
And today we have my good buddy,
I'm Andrew.
Andrew. Yeah, we have, again, Andy, Drew, and Andrew.
It's a lot.
We need some
And
diversity.
Patrick.
Drew.
And Patrick. So today we're going to go stick to like our regular routine. We're going to have a question for you guys. Share a little bit of what we've been watching and anything cool that we've seen. And then we've all seen Thor Ragnarok, which I'm excited to get into. So yeah. So the first question I have for you gentlemen is, since it is a superhero movie, I'm going to ask you if you could spend a day with a superhero, who would it be? So I think I'm going to start with Patrick.
So is it any hero or any hero that's been in a movie or what? Is there specifics to this or no?
Actually, anything
Okay.
goes.
So I guess mine will be a little bit odd, but it's one of my favorite superhero movies. It's Deadpool. And I know that sounds like an odd choice, but the reason why I pick him is I don't think he would hold back during a normal day. I feel like if you picked any kind of like courteous superhero, they wouldn't do something cool with you.
I don't feel like Deadpool has a normal day.
Exactly. So I feel like I'd get to experience his world for that day. Where I think if you pick someone normal like Spider-Man or something, they'd be kind of like PC about it. They'd get some other superhero to cover their shift that day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Deadpool will just be like, "Come on," and he'd like throw you two like guns or whatever. Like, let's go.
You're assuming you're going to be fine. Is what I'm.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna go out with a bang.
There's no way you would survive a day.
Bang.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like it would be a like outer world experience with him opposed to any other superhero, maybe except for like Hulk, which I don't know why anyone would want to be with him.
No,
but
He's like a 32-second day.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think I would get a unique experience with Deadpool rather than
I feel like
I don't even know I could be with an actor with any of the other dudes and not know. Like, so
yeah, you would have given some crazy shit with Deadpool.
yeah, I guess I'd be willing to get into crazy shit or be willing to get scared and turn my back and walk away. You know, but I want a unique experience, so that's why I picked Deadpool.
Cool. All right, Drew.
I would probably say Tony Stark, just because almost kind of the same reasoning as Deadpool, but his he's just like a super rich playboy, and that would be kind of fun to live that lifestyle for a day. Like, hey, I built like a ray gun. Like, let's shoot it off. Like, yeah, that's fun. Let's shoot it into the ocean off your yacht. So I don't know. I feel like that would be a pretty safe bet. You just kind of party with Tony Stark all day and send you on your way.
And after your like Shallow Waters movie pick, I would think you'd pick Aquaman or something like that.
Oh, well, that would be fun, but I can't breathe underwater is the problem with that one. Yeah.
You thought about
and
this.
Aquaman on land would be I feel like a little bit of a disappointment. What do you want to do? Go to the zoo? It's just hanging out with the dude.
You want to whisper shit into fish's ears?
Yeah. I can translate for you. Go to the aquarium. That might be kind of fun, actually. Go to the aquarium with Aquaman and like
go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
I'm sure they all just be like, "Get me out!" Like that's all the fish are saying. Like, release me.
So Tony, you sure? Tony Stark over Aquaman? Okay.
I think so. I think Tony Stark over Aquaman.
Okay.
Because he doesn't even have like a superhero persona. He's like, I am Iron Man. I am Tony Stark. Like, let's hear it. Like, what do you got for me? Like, so.
All right.
Yeah.
And Andrew, I know you have little time, but what do you? Whatever you come up with.
Super easy pick. Superman. 100%.
Whoa.
Okay.
Superman is the greatest superhero ever.
Elaborate.
He's awesome.
How would your date? Please, what would the play-by-play be for?
I mean, it'd be like a fascinating tour of a newspaper, which is great. You get like cool insight into how newspapers are born, and I think we gotta remember that. It's good. You could fly. He'd fly you somewhere. That's awesome. Superman's also just.
Fly at like a slow enough speed for you to like hang on.
I'm assuming he's flown civilians around before.
I feel like he would just like ditch you to go handle some problem in like 2
Absolutely not.
seconds, and then
Superman-
you could come back and be like,
Superman's
hey.
way too nice.
Like,
If this
yeah.
is like, I'm assuming this is like I won like some kind of auction and he has to hang out with me.
Like-
So like something like that. He's not gonna ditch me. I'm
I
going.
like that in the auction.
Yeah.
It's like you get to learn he's Clark Kent. He's like, yeah, this is where I work. Oh shit! He's like,
Glasses off. Yes, oh man.
So I
Secret
don't
auction.
want the Batman v Superman, but I wouldn't mind if he looked like Henry Cavill.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, I guess I'll go. So I was gonna pick Spider-Man, but
You can pick Spider-Man.
well, I thought about it. I actually thought about it because, like, I was talking to Drew about it. I'm like, I would probably pick Spider-Man because, like, you would seem someone even hanging out with Peter Parker. I feel like would be cool, right? But
Just
then
like end up missing the bus or something.
but see, that's where things get interesting. We miss the bus, but he's like, all right, don't tell anybody this. We got to swing, and then we go on a
We
swinging
gotta
adventure. Yeah,
Swing dance.
I just had this mental image in my head of Spider-Man just cradling Andy in his arms, swinging.
Oh, we gotta swing.
Yeah, swinging. No, just swinging through New York. Like, hey, what's up? Like, I need to use this hand now. Sorry.
And Andy just has the biggest smile on his
Just- oh,
face.
I would totally have the biggest smile on my face. So that's how I think that would go. But my actual pick would probably be Star-Lord because I get to
Yes.
cruise in a ship in space and get to see the galaxy and get into some weird shit.
See, but if anyone's gonna ditch you, Star-Lord's gonna ditch you.
That's fair.
I would befriend the crap out of him, and then you'd see who did you.
Come here, friends.
A little aggressive, but I just think that'd be awesome. Just like even if I like stay in the ship, I'd just be mesmerized by just like viewing everything and just mess around. And plus, he probably has good taste in music, so I could probably just talk to
There you
music.
go.
You know?
And I feel like you get a little more bang for your buck too, because you get the rest of the Guardians in there as
Yep.
well. I mean,
Thought about it.
Maybe.
And, yep,
you
I
know.
get Groot,
average
Raccoon,
day.
and Gamora kind of scares me, but then you got Drax, so I think he would be cool. I don't know, but just the whole. I can go all day, but yeah.
I like how the only woman of the group scares you.
Well, she's the deadliest assassin, I think, in the galaxy or whatever.
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly, but I mean, it'd just be fun. And plus, again, those characters, I love them, and they're awesome. But yeah,
Those are all good picks for
I'd say-
different
I'd
reasons.
say so.
Mine's this, but
Well, if anyone's gonna ditch anybody, it's definitely gonna be Deadpool.
he might kill me. But
No, I meant you leaving him.
oh yeah, I
You
might
ditching
ditch him.
him.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll admit that one.
I think you're a runner, and I think you'd get the hell out of there as soon as you saw some shit go down.
Yeah.
So, cool. Well, then let's get into what we've been watching. It has been a bit of a crazy transition because Patrick and I we actually lived together and we were in an apartment, and now a lot of things changed up, so we had to move, which like that also the reason why we haven't done this in a while, and then people get sick, which also the reason why we can't do this, but we finally are transitioning and made some time for this, which I'm excited about. But in the meantime, we've been able to watch a few things.
Yeah.
But I saw, Drew, you have a list, so I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks, so I have at least 2 movies now.
Nice.
In the Halloween spirit, I watched Wolfman, the 2010 one with Benicio del Toro. And,
Is that Anthony Hopkins?
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins
Okay,
as well.
wow.
He plays his dad, and Emily Blunt plays the love interest. And it didn't do very well in the box office, but I really liked it. It's just kind of like a classic, monster movie. It's the all the kind of tropes you know and love about the Wolfman, silver bullets, and watch out for the full moon. There's no kind of like weird 2000s.
It's not like
flair.
super weird postmodern,
No,
sexy thing to it.
No sexy werewolves. Just like that one's dangerous. Watch out. Like that's it. And I like it. It's got a good flavor to it. Some of the costume design in it is phenomenal, and the sets are incredible. So there's a lot like visually. It's kind of a visual spectacle. There's a lot to look at that I really liked in it, and it being Halloween and all, it really fit. So that was probably one of my favorites that I watched. And then this time of year, my family always watched the Harry I actually have to ask you. Are you guys Harry Potter fans? You guys like them?
I like
The first movie is really good.
That's
I
what
think,
we watched the first.
I think
one.
after
It's
that
not
it
bad.
goes downhill. I think the second movie is pretty good. But after that, I think it's like the second to last movie is just them traveling in a goddamn tent the whole time. It's like, I could be hiking right now and have the exact same experience as this movie.
It did become a little bit Lord of the Ring-ish into second
Just
to
got like
last.
progressively darker.
Yeah,
which I believe is the tone of the books as well.
I mean, naturally, right? As the characters mature, like the story matures. So.
I mean, it's also like what 5 different directors, 6 different directors over the course of the films, and like 8 different Dumbledores. So like a new actor every movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Harry Potter's glasses change all the time.
Do they really?
No, I don't know.
I thought that could have been a fun little trivia tidbit. His glasses.
His scar has a pentagram in one of them. You know?
Yeah, it got real dark towards the end there. But yeah, first one's just a classic. It's just funny seeing.
I think the first one is a one I could rewatch over and over.
It's fun.
It's just, I mean, I remember like when they came out, just the phenomenon that was the Harry Potter movies. Like everyone was skipping school the day they came out to go see Harry Potter. People were dressing up as wizards and witches. Kids were crushed. They didn't get a letter from an owl.
Yeah, I'd always see news stories of how long the lines were for books and the movies. It's just like
yeah, it was nuts. But yeah, and then I think I watched a couple other things that we.
You think you
about.
watched a couple of?
Well, that we've talked about before. Okay. I watched and went through American Vandal.
Nice,
hilarious,
Sweet. Loved it. It was hilarious.
It's getting a season 2.
Is it
Season
really?
2?
Yes, it's getting a season 2.
Just
That's outrageous.
I'm so happy.
What are you gonna go with though?
It's so good. But what? Just a little spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen American Vandal, just close your ears for a second. In the end, when he spray paints the dick on her driveway,
Yeah.
and you think it's like a whole nother case, and it's like, no, her neighbor has security cameras. We saw you do it.
Yeah.
And he just lays back.
But the dick. He's like trying to.
Yeah,
it's like it's not his drawing.
It's such like a bonehead
Yeah.
thing to do. It's just that guy. There are so many things in that were.
I really like that movie.
Oh my god, it was so like well done, and there's so many like good like looks into people, just as like it's just how they operate emotionally and all that. So if you haven't seen it,
Yeah. Apparently, this was supposed to be just a short on the Funny or Die channel, and then
Really?
with the Funny or Die, people are like, you know what? There's a good chance this is going to be great. You should try to make a show out of this. So the Funny or
awesome.
Die people are like. You gotta make like a show.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
So like a bunch of people just came together and help these 2 dudes out that like have never done anything else before.
Wait, when these 2 dudes who
That like wrote/directed it or whatever.
I
Who created the show?
Yeah, I didn't
But those, they were,
It's 2 friends.
The writers
Yeah.
were smart though, because they knew that these were like they were just. I think that was smart writing because like these were teenagers and they kept that like thing.
Yeah, because
well.
you can kind of pretty much explain like any kind of normal like, oh, why did you do that? It's just they're inexperienced, they're young, like
Yeah.
even though they had
It's
amazing
emotional.
graphics for their like animated scenes, but
I love that. Some of those scenes are hilarious. Where they like
just
explain
that one jerking off.
Yeah,
scene.
that's exactly. From this angle, you couldn't have seen
Yeah,
the hand
exactly.
job. And from this angle, it was also obscure. It's like the graphic, and it always just starts like zoomed in on the TV phone. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah, hilarious.
I'm
Like,
so excited that it's getting a second season.
yeah, that is good news. That is really good news to hear. And then some of the other stuff I watched was Stranger Things.
Yep.
Went all through
Yeah.
that. I have a feeling we'll
Did
talk
everyone-
about that
Don't-
at some point.
Did everyone see
Go past episode 5 right now.
Man.
Oh,
Wow,
I'm
Andrew.
not gonna say anything then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But can you
My roommate got
believe
farther
what
than
happened in episode 6? It's crazy.
No, episode 8 is by far the best episode out of the 9. We can't talk about it. It's
Yeah,
one of the
I'm
craziest.
just- yeah.
We will save that for a review for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. But I was watching them with my parents, and we watched like 3, and we're like, wow, that's a lot. Like it's time to stop. My mom was like, no, we're watching another one, and that happened every episode. We started at like 3 in the afternoon, and we're done at like midnight. It's like, stop, Mom, please! Like we can't do this. And we watched them all in a day, and it was a marathon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's definitely a binge-worthy show. for
Yeah, so
sure.
I have no idea what takes place in what episode, because again, this is all
Because
one-
they're all blurred.
it's essentially a 9-hour movie for me, and it's So,
Cool.
but good stuff.
Well, all right.
Yeah, that about wraps it up.
Let's go with Patrick.
Well, as Drew said, it's been 3 weeks.
Yep.
I think I have some better things that I could probably talk about, but I can only talk about the things that I've recently watched, which have been like animes.
What are you seeing?
So I finally finished Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, Brotherhood or
Brotherhood.
Okay.
I finally finished Brotherhood, and I still think the worst one is better than just the regular Full Metal Alchemist. It doesn't follow the manga, but I think the story is way better, and it might be because it is more, in a sense, Americanized. Because Brotherhood falls into a lot of the classic anime tropes of like, you know, there's some fan service stuff that just doesn't really need to be there, and they do that whole giant like animated like flat head looking thing to show extreme emotion and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought the ending was just so much more impactful in the regular Full Metal Alchemist rather than the Brotherhood. But
So in the first one, the not Brotherhood, that's the ending. That's like alchemy is fueled by people like dying in another world or something.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah.
I thought that one was way gnarlier.
Interesting twist.
And then the main character technically dies in his world, but you see that he goes into the other world.
Yep. Yeah.
And then Alphonse gets his body back. He gets his body back in both, but yeah, it's whatever. And then I'm watching. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say that. I mean, that's considered like widely considered one of the like all-time greats. That the Full Metal. Both
of them. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the Brotherhood is like generally held a little bit higher, but like both of them are just like
I don't understand why Brotherhood. Like, I think the beginning of Brotherhood is great, but then I think it kind of falls under this classic anime style. Like, I made this example to somebody the other day where, like, these animes kind of just, like, overhype kind of, like, I don't know, like, experiences that are happening. Like, there's just two characters, they're just eating food. That's all they're doing. They're just sitting there eating food. These characters reunite with these people, and remember, they're just eating food, and these guys come over, they're like, whoa! We haven't seen you guys in ages. And they're like, you gotta tell us what you've been up to. And one of the guys who just puts down a sandwich gets up and is like, there's no time. We gotta go to... It's like, okay. I just started laughing because I was like, it doesn't look like this is urgent at all. So I think Brotherhood is good, but I think it disguises itself too well as being good in a sense. It's like, because the beginning is really good, but then like as it slowly goes on, it comes into this like Dragon Ball Z kind of thing where I mean Dragon Ball Z is cool and stuff, but it falls under like, oh, if I beat you, you become my friend, and that happens a lot in Brotherhood, which is it's kind of annoying. Like in some shows that's like cool, but in this one the beginning is great because they kill off these characters that you have a really strong connection to, and it just that doesn't follow through with like the middle or the end half of this show.
Interesting.
And I felt like the regular Full Alchemist, like it had the consistent dark tone the whole time, but with this one it's like I didn't feel scared about losing anyone I cared for anymore after a certain point.
That's interesting.
I mean, I think, I don't know. I think it kind of fell under, like, this kind of, like, oh, it's good, and it stayed close enough to its old feel, but not quite, that people, you kind of still have, like, the same vibe, and you already are so connected with the two main characters that you want to experience the rest of the journey with them. Okay. So, cool. That'll be the only thing I'll talk about.
All right. Well, Andrew, did you want to go?
I got two things. I watched Inhumans, but I only got 2.5 episodes in before I stopped.
Okay, why?
It's terrible. So here's the main. Well, one of the main problems with it is just like the CGI looks terrible. It just looks awful, except for the dog, which its name I totally forgot.
Lockjaw.
It's a huge
Lockjaw looks pretty awesome.
Lockjaw is awesome.
But Medusa's hair looks terrible. So terrible that they shave it off really quickly.
What the hell? That is Medusa though.
No, in the comics that happened. They shaved her hair off. From the storyline they're using, I think this happened.
So she has like prehensile hair, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the deal.
And they shave it off because the plot is that like Maximus, who's played by Ramsay Bolton on Game of Thrones, which is a great casting decision because he's psychotic
So
and
evil.
Maximus is also nuts, is leading a coup on the Inhuman society, which they have like a camp on the moon. But like, you're kind of like rooting for Maximus because apparently like the Inhuman royal family, if you don't get powers after Terrigenesis, they put you in like the mines, and you're like a miner.
What?
It's like a very caste class system. So it's like you have clear roles that you fulfill your entire life. So Maximus like apparently doesn't have any powers, but he's part of the royal family, so they don't do that to him. So then he leads a coup and like gets rid of all the royal family, so he can like take control of the society and stuff. And I think
So wait, does he have powers or not? I'm sorry.
in the comics he doesn't. In the comics I think he's like super intelligent, but they try to play it off in the TV show as if he did not get powers through Terrigenesis. And maybe later on they clarify that, but I'll probably never know. But like you don't relate to like the royal family and wanting like Black Bolt and Medusa to win because like they're like a king and queen who are like pretty severely oppressing their people.
Yeah, that seems. That's
What the heck?
like who do you root for?
I root for Maximus. I think you get rid of that system and bring the Inhumans to Earth. And if I was him, I'd go for Earth, which is what he wants to do.
Black Bolt is the only character that I know of from Inhumans, just because of the whole World War Hulk.
Yeah, and he should be more terrifying than he probably was. He kind of played up as terrifying. His power looked kind of cool when they showed it.
He's like Screeches, right?
Like anytime he
not
talks, like the sound waves will just like annihilate anything.
Yeah,
in his path.
it's like a super. He's like one of the most. He's like the most powerful Inhuman.
Yeah, he's
right?
definitely like probably one of the most powerful.
Like
superhumans.
he can almost handle Hulk on himself.
Yeah,
he's
if
close
he
to
screamed
him.
at Hulk.
He does it like all like through like sound waves and stuff.
Yeah, so
That's
he
it.
never talks in the comics unless he's trying to kill something.
Hey.
So that was terrible. I probably won't finish watching it. And then the other thing that I've been watching that I really liked is the Orville, which is incredible.
Oh, I want to watch that.
It's so
What
good.
is
So the Orville is like pretty much Star Trek, but it's a comedy.
It's Seth MacFarlane.
Oh.
And the
Yes,
the best
yes,
summary
yes.
is like I hate Seth MacFarlane, but I love this show.
All right.
And Adrienne Palicki from Shield, Agents of Shield, is on it, which she's awesome.
Who's she again?
She was Mockingbird.
Okay.
So loss for Agents of Shield, but total gain for Orville. But it's great. And it's just like regular Star Wars or Star Trek was. There's a lot of
It's
like
like
art
it
and actual like
plays
real.
off the corny stuff, right?
Yeah, there's
He's
a lot
a
of,
huge Star Trek fan, apparently, Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, there's a lot of real like moral conundrums that they bring up in them that I think are probably like long-lasting story threads.
Okay,
It's
I'm glad
very
you
good.
said something great about it because it's gotten bad reviews, just like Inhumans has.
I have no idea why the critics don't like it, but like fans seem to love it.
Critics,
But
I think
critics did not like it.
Critics are saying because, like, I guess, like,
I
what
mean,
you
they probably
mentioned-
hated Family Guy too.
Yeah, I mean, because they mentioned like the whole comedy, like they thought it was gonna be like more like a strict comedy kind of show, but it's more like there's comedy in it.
A little
you
more
know?
depth to it
A little more
than-
depth to it.
Yeah.
Huh.
It got a season 2 also already.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
sick.
Wow.
Okay.
And
cool.
you can watch it on. It's a Hulu original, right?
Hulu, yeah.
No, Hulu original.
Wait, it's a
No,
Hulu?
it's Fox.
It's Fox. Oh,
Wait, you
crap.
can watch it on Hulu now?
Yes.
Oh, I'm down.
Okay.
I'm gonna start
That's
watching
why.
that.
Okay, I saw it.
You
It's available,
convinced me, good sir.
available on Hulu is Fox.
Point for Andrew.
There you go. Very cool.
It's official now. Slap my knee.
Um,
That's how it works.
Andy.
So I think I'm just gonna. I'm gonna bring one thing up, and because I blame Andrew for this. I started watching Riverdale.
Incredible.
I thought and yes, I'm still like I can't believe how into the show I gotten. Just because like after another episode, again, like I want to see what happens next. Like it's such a young adult show, but like you have everything you kind of want. There's a murder, there's like scandals, there's like a good storyline, there's characters that like you enjoy seeing. Like I love Jughead in this show, and yeah, I'll take any heat or make you guys want to make fun of me about it, but I like adore this show now, and I'm catching and I'm watching the current season 2, and it's still fun and great.
It's good.
But I don't know if you have anything to add,
I
Andrew.
feel like I just have to yield at this point because like everyone I've talked to has been like, I love it, like it's good.
It's amazingly good. Although I read Archie comics already as it is, and Archie Comics is publishing a lot of strange comics anyway, so I was on board the Archie train before this was announced.
So I forgot the guy, the creator, like of the Archie, the guy who wrote the Archie Meets Zombies.
Yes, he's writing Afterlife with Archie and also directing this.
Right.
or
And
screenwriting
I
it.
think that's he's the one who like got this show going, and it's just kind of funny. It's just,
I'm waiting for it to go full blown Archie Afterlife with Archie too. I'm waiting for the zombies to they're just like go overboard
and
Wait,
then-
in the show or in the comic?
in the show.
in the
Oh, really?
So there's a
Yeah.
comic book called Afterlife with Archie that's very weird, zombie take on Archie.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping the TV show eventually just like going for it.
Maybe
Supposed
that'll be its final season.
and this is a very specific Archie thing to know, but Sabrina the Teenage Witch takes place in the same universe
Yeah,
as Archie
that is
comics.
true.
Yeah, and
That is
she's
true.
apparently supposed to be in the season, which I'm excited to see. So I mean, if they're gonna add like Sabrina the Teenage Witch and add like magic and stuff, I feel like Archie can go anywhere. So I'm like super excited to see where it goes.
Is there already like supernatural stuff going on in
No,
it?
not at all.
Not,
Okay.
no,
But there's a hilarious drug named Jingle Jangle that they consume out of pixie stick straws.
Yeah.
Wait, who? What?
Jingle Jangle.
it's a
But-
drug.
Oh, a
It's a
drug.
drug. That's
Okay.
It's a
Appropriate
drug.
reaction. Who? What?
Yeah.
It's very dangerous. Don't
Jingle Jangle.
You don't want to get hooked on that.
Okay.
You cannot come up with a less
So-
threatening name for a dangerous
Am I correct that it's probably just like an over-the-top drama show?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like a soap opera mixed with any kind of teen
Yeah.
show, but it just throws it at your face constantly.
Yeah.
The-
Is it
the-
self-aware in that fact?
It is, I think.
I think so.
I feel like it is,
Okay,
but
'cause
that's
that-
what makes it unique and good, and like the
Yeah.
characters are great. They're well done, and so that's kind of why like just coming in with those lenses, you're like, okay, like I'm all in.
I mean, I'm willing to give it a try, but yeah, hopefully, if I don't feel like it's meant for pure teenage girls, then I'll
Yeah.
watch it. But yeah, I mean, I've been interested in it.
It's exactly
Andy
what you'd
just
expect.
once Andy started, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not
No,
gonna wait for you." So,
It's a CW drama. It's CW
Yeah.
teen drama.
I even texted Andrew. I'm like I blame you for this, and everyone in the show is incredibly like perfect.
They're all way too good.
Yeah, they're all way too good looking, and I'm
that's every CW
Ar-
show.
Archie's ripped.
Yeah.
Like really muscular, and he's like 16 or something.
Are they supposed to be like 16? It's like
Sophomores.
everyone that
I know,
everyone
they're-
that
no,
poses.
They're all
Seniors.
oiled, right?
Are they-
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
seniors. They're juniors. I think they're seniors and juniors.
Okay.
Yeah, because they talk about like like they're already talking about like their college life or whatever.
I was watching it, and my roommate walked in. And I was like, "You just missed Archie and Veronica fucking in the shower,"
Oh my god!
which happened.
But
There we go.
there you go. So that's just a little.
Are we allowed to curse?
I don't care.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. I think we had I think a few episodes we had a thing called "What the Fuck" segment, so that's
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk about is Riverdale, which I'm still in it. So yeah, so now let's just talk about Thor Ragnarok that just came out this past weekend. And here's the cool thing: it's directed by Taika Waititi, and I was surprised to learn that he played Korg. So the director,
did?
the
Cool.
director played Korg, and that character it was good. But
Korg was great.
well, let me ask you, what are your guys' first impression of the movie? So I'll start with Patrick.
I thought it was good. I think it was a little overhyped with the Rotten Tomatoes
Sure.
score. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes score is based off if someone liked it or not how much like percentage they thought it was. So like most people did give it like a 7.5. So universally, a lot of people thought this was a good movie.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like on the same board. Like I
Just,
don't think it's
generally good, but
yeah, I think it's a good movie. Like I think it's a solid movie, but I don't think it's like amazing because it like a lot of the media is kind of portraying it as amazing or like. And I would agree though that it's probably one of the funnier Marvel movies for sure.
Absolutely.
And I watched even a little interview or a little like talk on Chris Hemsworth, and like apparently the director kind of let Chris Hemsworth put a little bit of his own personality into Thor's character this time, and that's maybe why it was a little more enjoyable because this is the first Thor movie that has had a good review compared to the other two. But yeah, I was more excited about this movie before Andy was. At least I would argue that, anyways.
Sure.
And that was when I found out it was based off of.
Well, because he came to me like I think he's like oh, I'm excited because they're gonna mention Planet Hulk, and so he read through that.
So
thing.
while I still am upset that Hulk isn't getting his own Planet Hulk movie, because at the same time I understand that would be hard to pull off great. So I'm glad that they gave it a lot of honorable mentions like Korg and Meek. And
This is well, maybe not 2/3. This is like almost half Planet Hulk though.
Yeah.
Screen time wise, like the middle third of the movie is like all Planet Hulk, right?
Well, I mean, are you talking about following the story or like
Setting wise.
Just setting wise.
Yes,
Setting wise.
that's what actually was like
Hulk.
getting to is that the setting, like it feels like the comic book. It's very close to what's in the comic book of Planet Hulk, which I thought it was amazing. Like the setting, the crazy towers, but yet there's a bunch of junkyards, and it's not a very, very clearly there's upper class and lower class, no middle class, and like that's all there is, and it's. I don't know. I enjoyed the little tips of the hat to Planet Hulk because that's one of my favorite comics.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah.
All right, well, Drew.
Yeah, I agree a lot with what you're saying. Like, I went into it and it was the movie I expected it to be, which was a good thing. I had a really good time watching it. I laughed. It had the action, the funnies, all that. There's a lot like aesthetically that I loved about the Planet Hulk planet. What's it called? Scar.
Yeah. SKAAR.
There's so much I love it. Just like the weird like synth vaporwave kind of like soundtrack.
The
like
scoring was awesome. I think
it
felt like 80s, right?
Yeah, it was so good.
This had Jack Kirby like written all over it too. They're finally, along with like Doctor Strange, I think they're taking more inspiration from Jack Kirby's like crazy art style.
Yeah, this was definitely a more surreal tone to like a lot of it. There was just the bright colors and like the huge like Jeff Goldblum holograms just throughout it. I love that. I like so much of it. But yeah, definitely probably one of the funnier, more kind of comedy driven Marvel movies to date. And I liked it for that.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Andrew?
I liked it. So I love these comic movies. I love them all mostly. And now mostly my gauge of whether or not which ones are better than the other ones is like, do I want to watch it again? And I totally would watch this one again.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree
Like
with that.
the first two Thor movies I like, but like probably I don't know. If I saw them on TV, I'd watch it, but I don't know if I'd pop them in myself. But I would put this one in and watch it again for sure. And this one actually, comparative to other ones, had like a crap ton of Easter eggs, more so than most Marvel movies. For I think comic fans.
Okay.
Like I don't know if does anyone know who Beta Ray Bill is?
Oh, you've told me about him.
Beta Ray Bill is like this anthropomorphized horse that like can wield Thor's hammer. He plays a role in like a really famous Thor comic series. And on Scar, when they had that huge dome, they had like the champion statues around the dome. Beta Ray Bill was one of them. And they had the Infinity Gauntlet joke.
Yeah.
It seemed like I think there are a lot more. Did they say that Thor broke up with Jane too? There's like a one-line joke about that.
She dumped him. He's like, I dumped her.
We'll jump into the spoilers in a bit and see discuss more of that.
Wait, why is that an Easter egg though? I'm sorry.
I think it's just like a small reference that not everyone would notice.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm on board with you. I like this. Out of all three Thor movies, this is what I would watch. I'd want to watch this over and over compared to the other ones. And I really adored this. And I think I don't know. It was like a really good, enjoyable movie. I loved the feeling of it. It was fun and funny, of course. And but yeah, I think I'll probably get more into spoilers about some of the other stuff. But yeah, overall, I loved it, and I saw it twice already, just because. Again, I can see this movie over. But yeah, let's jump into spoilers. So the one thing I do want to say about this movie, I wish we would have had more like Hulk smashing, just because I think it would have been more fun.
It's a pretty good battle scene though. Between I thought it was just enough. At least the Thor Hulk battle was long enough.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a great scene though.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they probably fought a little bit in Avengers.
Right.
It was always tongue in cheek when they did though. It was like
Yeah.
him like hitting him just like real quick out of the side or something like that.
Yeah, because they did show in the first Avengers that he was like the only like other guy who could take on Hulk, or at least
like take a punch.
Yeah, take a punch from Hulk. Yeah. But yeah, and then let me mention the cast too. We had like a great cast in this too. Like Tom Hiddleston, like Loki. I'm glad to see him back. Kate Blanchett, amazing villain. And then Idris Elba,
Always good.
always good having him
Always
there.
good.
And then I love seeing Tessa Thompson, who played Valkyrie in this, and so
Yeah, she's great. That was really enjoyed her character.
I was gonna say, but I guess what was I gonna mention about the beginning of the scene? Yeah, like I came in this blank 'cause I haven't read any of the comics, so I didn't know who that monster at the beginning was.
Gorg?
Yeah, no, his name Gorg. The
Rock
The
guy?
rock monster?
No, the
big
fire
lava
demon.
with the
No, I actually don't know him.
Yeah.
The fire dude at the crown.
Searcher.
so
Yeah.
yes.
It's just like it's a fire demon. It's a common, I think, Thor antagonist throughout probably the 80s. I haven't seen this character in a while.
Yeah.
Well, that's an appropriate throwback then.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the 80s.
Yeah.
What was I gonna ask? But yeah, what are you guys' any other thoughts on like what you guys enjoyed about this movie, like spoiler wise, and
So yeah, I think the comedy was pretty good. At least Korg. I loved Korg. Is probably by far my favorite character.
Korg was hilarious.
Yeah, he's nothing like what he is in the comic book.
No,
but that's
no,
okay.
it's hilarious.
That's fine.
I freaked out a little bit when I saw you standing next to Meek too.
Yeah, Meek.
That was a nice
I'm glad
touch.
Meek was in it. I wish we would have seen at least Meek like cut a dude or something. But
He fought on the bridge. He was fighting.
I don't think
the
you really
zombies.
could see him. At least I couldn't see him personally.
There was like a quick scene where he's fighting people, and then the next scene he got his legs cut off.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Meek getting defeated, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was personally a little disappointed that there wasn't more action in it, and I'm talking about fighting action.
Right.
So we had the opening scene, which I thought was actually pretty good.
That was hilarious.
And it
That was a
felt
great scene.
like
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy to me, where like when Star Lord's kind of like walking
Yeah.
in with the kicking those little rat things, and then he gets in a fight with those
Right,
three
right.
dudes. It felt similar to that to me, and the whole movie kind of felt like it kind of had a little bit of a Guardian sprinkle on it in a sense.
Well, it's got that whole kind of
the cosmic, right? The cosmic feel.
yeah,
to it.
and like the sci-fi setting of
Yeah,
that
but
star
I think you said earlier that it's got a bunch of colors, and I think Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
is one of the few Marvel movies with a bunch of color. Not too many other
It was
Marvel movies.
like visually it was
Yeah.
reminding you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think James
I agree a
Gunn,
lot with
also the director, like kind of is overseeing like the cosmic aspect of the Marvel universe.
that. So anything kind of like off Earth is
Yeah, like off Earth, like he's trying to like he's helping Kevin Feige, like like as he's like the overall seer, like James Gunn's like the one who's like checking, like making sure like, everything cosmic wise is connecting and stuff. Yeah.
Did you guys like the Doctor Strange appearance?
I love that.
It kind of
Yes.
it reminds me of comics because for a second I thought it was a little too brief and I was like I don't get this, but it's really comic-y where like you can see like there'd be like a cover where it'd be like in this issue of like the Mighty Thor featuring Doctor Strange at the bottom. So like I was expecting him to have like a larger role since mostly because of that post-credit scene. I think
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it probably
yeah.
would have been more enjoyable if I had not known he was going to be in it actually. But his role in it was hilarious, especially with Loki falling.
Yeah, that was a good.
There was a great chemistry with like him and Thor, and like just going switching to room to room to room, and like he just like
his beard kept on like spilling all
right.
the time. Yeah.
I think it was also like a nice touch that like in the Marvel universe, like Doctor Strange is like one of the most powerful people. Like he as far as magic goes, he's like top of the food chain. And like they definitely highlighted that.
It's good that he's paying attention. He noticed immediately when Loki was there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny they consider him the wizard. Yeah. He's considered the Earth's wizard now compared from what Thor mentioned.
But yeah, like I guess like I found the first fighting scene cool, and then I liked the Thor Hulk battle, but I wasn't enthralled with it. I wish it was a little bit more over the top. And then
I feel a little bit just playing off that Hulk has been toned down a little bit. You know what I'm saying when I say that?
well, he's a monster. You can't relate to him.
What do you mean? What do you mean toned down?
like
Strength-wise?
strength-wise, like destruction.
Well-
Like I mean, think of Avengers 1, right? He like sucker punches one of those giant dragon robot worm things, and it just implodes. And like I don't know, he's just kind of built up as this unstoppable force, and then
I just got
You
the
get-
vibe that he wasn't as angry.
Yeah, I kind of can see that
That's
too.
kind of what
That's a
I
fair
got
point, yeah.
from this movie is that
He's-
because he was actually talking as Hulk, and I think that's the first time we even like get full
dialogue.
sentences
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the Green Hulk.
I like that a lot too because one of the things I was surprised about is I always assumed you'd never get a real Hulk movie again, at least Planet Hulk movie, because like most of that stars Hulk and not Banner.
Yes.
So you got to pay Mark Ruffalo. Like, how much good money are you going to pay Mark Ruffalo to not be in a movie? Really?
Yeah.
Well, do they do like because it looks like a big green Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, but I think the actors probably like. There's a reason why like in all the posters, like Iron Man always has his mask off or his helmet off because they want his face there.
Yeah.
So I think there's a thing there where they'd want Mark Ruffalo in it for more. But I thought it was super awesome that they paired like the dichotomy between these two personas. Like there's a real Hulk persona and there's a separate Banner. And then he didn't even know. He just like woke up when he turned back and he's like, "Where the hell am I?"
Yeah, I
It's
think
an important distinction.
you made a good point that they're trying to show that there's a complete difference between the two. There isn't. It's kind of like an on and off switch. It's not like he's partly in control. It's a completely different character in a sense. But,
I want to see where Hulk comes next. I gotta assume Infinity War, I guess.
I'm pretty sure they're setting up Infinity War.
That post credit scene you were talking about that in the theater.
Yeah, I think, and Andrew, you pointed out to me. You think for sure that might be most likely Thanos?
That's totally Thanos'
That's
shit.
totally Thanos.
And I think from you said, "Oh, they killed Death," which. Because so Thanos in the comics always says he courts death. He's in love with death, and that's why he wants to destroy the universe.
oh, is she Death?
That's
I mean,
Death,
she
yeah.
was the goddess of death. She's the
goddess
Norse
of
goddess
death.
of death.
Yeah.
So like Andy had said that, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe he could sense that in some way, or maybe he could sense that death was resurrected and out, and he was gonna go like do something.
I see.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, propose. I don't know. He's like literally proposed and tried to marry Death before.
Yeah,
in
and
the
that's
comics.
his thing. That's his weakness.
With
he's
Deadpool, it's like Deadpool and Death are like having a thing, and Thanos literally cursed Deadpool to be immortal. So that's another reason why Deadpool like can't die, and like his healing factor's already off the chart. But Thanos has literally cursed him to never
Yeah,
be dead.
because he becomes like just a hand at one point, but then his hand goes back into
the whole
it.
body's like, I'm back!
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like that's gonna play into like the Infinity War a lot, just that whole interaction, which I think what's it called? Which I feel like I was talking to Drew about this, but I feel like again with Loki's way of always betraying Thor, I feel like he has a big play.
You think he took the cube?
I think so for sure.
Absolutely.
He
Were there
had
two
to.
also? Did I miss that? Did he walk past two?
There's two cubes. All right, let's get into that.
I'm confused about this.
What was the first?
Well, the first one is a Tesseract, which turns
Yeah,
out to be
that's
the
the-
time gem, which was in Loki's staff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that got taken from him after the Avengers and put into the vault. But I thought he walked past two of them.
There was like a mini cube and a huge.
There's a huge
there
one.
was,
So is the
there
other
was,
one
like,
the cosmic
Tesseract
cube, maybe?
and then there was like the other. It was weird.
I thought
Yeah.
they were both blue in the same size.
They
I didn't
look-
notice.
They
I thought they were different
size.
size, but they looked similar though.
I thought one had like we're all remembering different things. I thought one had like a black like pattern on it.
I
Like a
don't
little bit.
remember.
One was darker, and Tesseract was lighter. Then did we see how many Infinity Stones did we see just in that one whole thing? Because we counted.
Well,
I think there were. The new one was definitely the Soul Gem, which you're right.
Okay.
The Eternal Fire, I think, is the Soul Gem because she used that to
To
resurrect
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
the dead. So that's probably the Soul Gem. And I think we were missing one other one.
Remember, his Vision has one too.
Vision has one too.
Vision had he's got yellow.
So there's
Yeah.
so there's the Reality Gem.
Who has that one? That's the one.
That might be the Ether, or no, that's the Power Gem. Ether is the Power Gem. Time Gem was Loki's staff. I think the Reality Gem's still not out there.
Okay.
Isn't that what it did?
Oh no, Space Gem was Loki's staff. Time is the Agamotto stone.
Oh, by
The
Doctor Strange.
that's right.
I already said Power.
Yeah, and then
And then Soul Gem was revealed. I think only left is Reality. The Reality Stone.
Isn't that what's in the Vision's head? Isn't reality in Vision? What's
I don't know, it doesn't-
What's the yellow
I'd
one?
have to look. Yeah, I'd have to go.
No, I think they took that out of the staff.
Yeah, it was out of
Which
the
one was the one of the
Oh.
Guardians?
Yeah, that's the one that I'm
The
not
purple
sure.
one.
The Ether. That was the
That's the
the
Ether.
purple one.
Yeah,
It
the
was
Guardians
purple
one. So I
That-
think we've seen all this. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to research all of them. I'm just gonna write.
Yeah,
it down.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna write this
Talk
down
about
for a
this
second.
later, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Keep going. I'm gonna write it down.
yeah.
Okay, so back to the fights. I actually wasn't too happy with the last fight scene personally.
The ending.
The
war
bridge
battle,
fight,
The bridge
yeah.
fight. What were your? What are the criticisms? Or
Well, I guess I was kind of hoping for a final boss fight, and they never really fought Death. She never had a cool fight. She always just obliterated everybody. And I understand that she's way powerful, but I guess I was just I wasn't like like it was cool to see Thor thunder everything, but it's like I don't.
They kind of had to set it up for Ragnarok, though, right? They kind of needed to destroy the.
Yeah, Ragnarok,
planet.
like it's supposed to like die. I think in the comic books, Andrew can correct me or not, but I think Thor does successfully save their planet from Ragnarok. Like that's the whole reason why Thor is born, is to prevent the next Ragnarok, because Ragnarok happens like every cycle. There's always like Ragnarok always destroys the whole universe, blah blah blah, and then the universe comes back and recreates itself. And Thor is
The
supposed
whole
to,
universe.
or some, I don't know, like at least that planet.
Well, Asgard in the comics does like get destroyed, and then they relocate Asgard to like Earth, which is what I'm assuming they're playing
that's
on.
Okay.
exactly what they're
Yeah,
doing.
I
wanna
don't know
say-
if Ragnarok destroys it or Surtur destroys it, but I know like, and I'm not super up to date on all the Thor stuff, but I know I think sometime in the early 2000s, in the first 10 years, I think Asgard gets destroyed. I think by like a serpent. There was like some kind of event.
Well, that's
where it
like
gets
quote
destroyed.
unquote the
The world
Ragnarok or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think there was a serpent.
Ragnarok is always referencing like a dragon or snake or like sea serpenty kind of
Okay.
like
Yep.
thing. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't too impressed with the last fight scene personally, and being both Thor and Hulk, I thought this would have the most kind of like crazy action, but I think this is like one of the lower tier actions out of all the Marvel movies, though. Like, I would argue.
Yeah. At least when it comes to like the final battle, like, yeah.
I mean, I still think the Hulk / Thor battle could have been better. I thought the opening fight was perfect to setting up the movie and the tone of it, because it was supposed to be kind of like a jokingly like, yeah, I can get through anything kind of.
Right.
But
I just think that definitely had more. I feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? Because like how you mentioned the talk was Chris Hemsworth's about like he got to put more himself in that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was super apparent, and I think that's why I made this movie a little more enjoyable and personable. I feel like we got to know Thor better and like actually see him not
it
be
felt
almighty.
way easier to relate to Thor
Yeah.
in this movie.
I heard a lot of the lines were improvised. There was between everybody. There was a lot of improvisation.
They mimicked the first Iron Man, apparently, and that's
what
why
they're shooting for.
Yeah, because that's how the first Iron Man was apparently shot. Was they let Robert Downey Jr. like
Just did his thing.
you do your thing.
Yeah.
We know you're gonna do.
He's
great.
already Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And he set the tone, and that's
Like,
just
I'm pretty sure that whole like snake story where he's like, oh yeah, one time Loki turned into a snake and he knows I love snakes, so I went to pick it up obviously because it's snake. I love it. And he's like,
that was-
he's like, oh, it's me, Loki, and he stabbed me. And it's
it's incredible.
I am like 90% sure that was an improvised story.
Yeah, that was. There's some incredible dialogue, and then I think like the little thing, like the chemistry between like the characters like Loki and Thor, like the get out bit that made me. I was just dying at that. It's like the whole like get out where like Thor like. Or get help.
he throws-
Get help. Get help.
help.
Get help. My bad. I kept saying get out. Anyways, but get help. The whole get help bit just like made me like it was
love
super
it.
enjoyable.
Little fun thing. Did you catch the Doom reference in the final fight on the bridge?
No.
So when the guy, the betrayer guy who had like the like
Scourge.
Scourge.
Yeah, Scourge.
When Scourge jumped off the ship with his 2 guns, he literally recreates the cover of the original Doom video game. He's standing, like this on a pile of bodies with 2 guns that look very similar, pointed down, shooting like that. And even the enemies, as they're crawling up, there's like a frame. I'm 90% sure there's a frame. If you just took a frame from that and then put it next to the cover, it would be exact replica.
That's awesome.
So
Scourge was cool.
Okay.
Scourge was a dick.
I liked
Fuck
him.
that guy.
I thought he was an interesting character.
It's
It's like you could tell that he was so
Interesting character.
troubled
Yeah.
with
But fuck
this moral decision that he had to make.
Yeah.
He really, really just wanted power and respect. And he got that through death, but he had this moral dilemma. He's like, these are my people. And of course and then he got embarrassed about himself. And then once the time arose, he's like, you know what, there's something I can do here, guys.
Yeah.
And
and then just immediately gets smoked by Hela.
yeah.
Helena?
Hela? I think it's just Hela.
Yeah, I want to say like hella cool.
Hella cool.
Yeah.
Radical.
Andrew actually.
We got the power. We got the gems. Okay, so
Okay.
this is what we got the power gem, which
gem.
is the Guardian's orb.
Okay.
The reality gem, which was the ether from Thor 2. Soul gem, I'm assuming, is the eternal fire. Time gem, Eye of Agamotto. Space gem is a tesseract, and then the mind gem is a scepter, which is in Vision's head now.
Okay.
So that's all of them.
So
That's
all
all of them.
stones
They're all
have been
around.
Even
released.
if the eternal fire is
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thanos could have also been going to there to get them because that's the last time you saw him. He's like,
Yeah,
"I'm
I mean,
gonna
there's
get
like
them myself."
3 stones there, and the gauntlet.
No, that's the fake gauntlet.
Oh, that's a fake gauntlet. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't realize
Clearly,
it was
clearly
fake.
it was so funny. So like clearly, you said fake because that mean like that kind of shows there that she knows who Thanos is and like what he's about. So it's like,
Well, they had like a one scene in like I think the first Thor movie where you saw his vault, and they just put that in there as a joke. I think before they knew this was all going to happen. So I think they're just walking back that
Oh, interesting.
for all the
I
nerdy
need to-
people who noticed that one
I need to-
scene.
I need to-
Like
revisit
a
that.
small retcon.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, this was fake the whole time. Like, don't worry about it.
yeah. Any other thoughts about?
You talking to me, or you want to
In
talk to everyone else?
general, I'm looking at everyone.
Jeff Goldblum's.
I thought
it
I'm
was
not
great.
a big.
I love
I'm not a big fan of Jeff Goldblum.
How are you not a
but
fan of Jeff Goldblum?
That's wrong, dude.
I've only seen him
You're
in Jurassic
objectively wrong.
Park,
He's been in other
He's a
stuff.
national treasure.
How did that alone not win you over?
The
and then
Fly.
Jurassic
Rockstar.
Park. Okay, The Fly, and then
Fly.
there's the.
Come
the-
on, the Independence Day.
Independence
Come
Day.
on, man. He was incredible in that.
Sure, but he plays kind of like the same kind of like. I mean,
He's
I
Jeff
loved him in
Goldblum.
this because he's a douchebag. Like he plays the douchebag well. I guess he's a douchebag in like all. I don't think he's a douchebag in The Fly, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I've seen that, but he's definitely a douchebag in like all the other 3 movies.
Like the Chaos Theory dude in Jurassic Park,
Yep,
right?
he's a douchebag in that.
Or no, it's Game Theory, maybe.
No one likes
I think
him.
it was
like
Chaos
that.
Day.
I think it's Chaos Theory because
Chaos
he
Theory.
does the drop of water and it goes down different paths. Yeah, that's Chaos Theory.
I just loved in that movie Jurassic Park, not to derail, but like just his whole character. He's like the rock star, like math.
Yeah, mathematician.
Yeah.
He's wearing
He's just,
like
like, picking
leather and he's a
like,
mathematician.
Picking up chips, but like yeah, this chaos.
Mathematicians
thing.
can be
He's
cool,
like,
too.
Yeah, he
yeah,
gets-
no, it's cool.
He
It's
like touches them is like kind of creepy vibe. Yeah, so
it's not
I
like
loved
that.
it. I'd like to see Jeff Goldblum in here again. I think it's hilarious
Yeah.
the number of like Oscar-winning actors who are now associated with superhero movies. It's hilarious. Although I don't know if Jeff Goldblum's actually gotten an Oscar or
I
something.
don't think so. The Fly, I think, has to be his best movie.
If he hasn't, I'm borderline upset about that.
really,
He's gonna be
Just like Jeff
nominated.
Goldblum, he's hilarious.
he's just a douchebag.
No, it's not. It's not.
I like the.
I enjoyed him in this movie.
I enjoyed him in this movie too. I'm just saying, like he's kind of just one
I didn't realize-
character.
Oh, here's something I want. So I don't know why I like this scene, but again, it's like adding to like Thor like being more relating to him more. But just that whole like the Willy Wonka
Oh my God,
train
yeah.
ride, like
That was
Oh, yeah, that was
100% of a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
Yeah.
reference.
just the whole like beginning all calm, and then by the end of it, it's like red and like him going crazy, and like you're gonna meet the Grand Master, and he just like screams, and it's like done.
They're even like it's even World of Imagination. The
Yeah.
song they're singing.
Yeah, it was
It's
just. I thought that was just great. I thought, yeah, but
You guys noticed
Me.
apparently that during that play they were doing, the recreation of Thor 2, I guess that was Chris Hemsworth's brother and Matt Damon playing
Was it?
Loki.
that was Matt Damon.
it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, I
Which-
was. I
which
thought
brother
it was
was
Matt
it?
That
Damon.
was
Chris
no,
Hemsworth's brother, the guy who's from that trilogy of movies, or there's 4
Yeah.
movies
The
with
the
Jennifer
Divergent ones?
Lawrence in it.
Hunger Games?
Hunger Games, yeah, that's Chris Hemsworth's brother.
that one. He has multiple brothers. You know
He's
that.
got-
No, that
he's got
was
two
no,
brothers,
you're
yeah.
right. It's Luke Hemsworth.
Okay, I didn't know which one. I thought it was
It is
that
Luke.
one.
Luke?
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
Luke Hemsworth.
He's got like 1 or 2 more brothers.
So I'm curious though, what's the relation to Matt Damon here? Being
I don't
this?
know. I thought like
I think he's
Jimmy
just a
Kimmel was
friend.
gonna be playing. Like,
Think they just saw him and they're just like, hey, we got to roll.
I mean, it's kind of like what in Austin Powers 3 they had Tom Cruise play Austin
Yeah.
Powers in the fake Austin Powers movie.
Yeah,
that was great, but like, there's no real connection why Tom Cruise is being Austin.
Honestly, I think the
Powers.
joke was just, oh, it's Matt Damon.
that's,
I
that's,
think
that's
that-
good
I
enough
think,
of a
yeah.
joke.
I did not recognize him.
I even
So,
leaned
yeah,
to
no,
it,
I'm like,
that's
no,
not Matt Damon.
no, it's not. And then
And
Oh.
you having seen the movie, I was like, oh, that's not Matt Damon.
No.
Like, I thought you were informing me.
No, but no. Okay, I'm wrong.
I'm kind of surprised that was Luke. I thought it was like one of the other brothers.
I didn't even know there was one named. Actually, I don't even know the other.
So is that not the one who's in the Hunger Games?
No, that's dang, what's his name now? It's not Luke. Now I'm gonna look it up, but yeah.
Are they all equally as handsome as him?
No,
They're all very
the
handsome.
You guys-
one in the Hunger Games is like the next most handsome, and the one in so this one
You
was
already
not the
have it
Hunger
right.
Games, right?
Yeah,
this one,
rated.
this one is not as handsome. Like he's thicker. He's not as like toned, but he's like thick. He's thick still. Like he's still strong, but he's not as defined as.
Did you guys like the shirtless Thor scene?
Dude, shredded.
Well, I mean,
Dude's huge.
yeah.
He's a monster.
I think he might be like the biggest one out of all the superhero people. Maybe Henry Cavill's bigger or just as big. Henry Cavill's pretty fucking huge.
Wait, what about the guy? I forgot his name, but Aquaman. He's pretty big.
Jason Momoa is also
Jason Momoa.
huge.
Yeah, yeah, but
But like Chris Hemsworth without his shirt on is like Jesus Christ.
yeah.
You know that you got
Felt
paid
bad
extra for
seeing
that.
Cool. Well, let's just do final thoughts. Just any last things you guys want to say about this movie? I know that I love this movie. I'd see it again, and I'm excited to see.
I guess I could go first since I probably have the most
I
negative.
think Andy's going.
No, he's gonna end it.
Okay, Patrick, go for it.
Okay, so I probably have the most negative view on this movie. I did enjoy this movie, but I have to disagree with you guys that I don't think this is a rewatchable movie. I think a lot of these movies have like the same tone when it comes to humor, and that's a lot of like it's a really really good first watch theater movie without a doubt. All these movies have been great. Like, don't get me wrong, I love them, but like if I'm gonna rewatch a movie, it's probably gonna be a fucking terrible horror movie. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to tug at any strings here, but I feel like a lot of the humor, like as Drew even pointed out, where Hulk punches Thor in that one Avengers movie, like that gets old like extremely fast for me.
It's a surprise.
That's really funny the first time, and I feel like a lot of these jokes, like they're really great the first time, but they get super like watered down every time you watch it because you know it's coming. It's a lot of those jokes played on a surprise factor. Just kind of like the Pac-Man in Guardians 2. I don't think that's funny anymore.
I would still watch it over and over again.
Guardians 2 is a good movie.
The most biased man in the world.
I mean, I think Guardians 1 is worth rewatching. I rethought about it, and I think Spider-Man Homecoming is worth rewatching.
Yes.
There's probably... Iron Man 1 is probably like my favorite.
That was so good.
That was set the tone again. It's just,
But
That's really what kind of kicked it off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first one.
That was it.
yeah, I even like the Edward Norton Hulk movie.
That one's great.
That's
Totally
something-
underrated.
That's like one of the
I
apparently
get
weakest
too
rated.
confused.
Apparently, it's one of the weakest rated of the Marvel movies, but I still really like it.
I love that one.
But yeah, I think that's kind of like a weakness of this movie. It's so humor driven, but yet it has. I think like Korg, like everything that Korg says is something I can re-listen to over and over again. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of like in like the scene that you're talking about where they're going through the Willy Wonka tunnel, like that's hilarious too. But there's just a lot of like Hulk being a baby, like that can get old really fast, and it's just. I think like half of the humor is just it's all about the gag, kind of like in horror movies. Like, there's some horror movies that's like, wow, it's really scary the first time, but it's not scary anymore. It plays off of just the moment.
But like you said, you like to rewatch the horror movies over and over again, right? Because you said that's your thing. Like I could rewatch this because like I love, like, for example, for me, I like revisiting these gags myself.
It's not your turn yet. That's why I'm like I don't want to tug at any strings.
Hold up, because this is a flowy thing. Because if someone else chips in, that's fine.
You've
okay.
Personally affronted Andy.
Yeah, he's like I have to get in and save these
No, you
movies.
jump in wherever you want.
Yeah, you guys jump in whenever you guys jump in when you guys want. So hey, I'm gonna jump in
right
too.
now. Andy, you're done.
Easy.
But yeah, I think this.
You don't have to finish.
I think this movie is definitely worth a watch for sure, and I think it's great. It's just not a movie that I would personally rewatch again. I think
I personally think there could have been more action. I understand that could water down the story, but I mean, the story isn't really that complex to begin with. I was a little upset. Like, I really do love Cate Blanchett's character, but I'm really pissed that there wasn't some gnarly ass fight that we like. It would have been at least cool to see the Valkyrie fight. Like, that wasn't in complete
that battle?
picturesque slow motion,
Yeah.
but that would have been cool to at least see played that out, because she was doing a bunch of crazy shit in those pictures. I would have loved to see, like...
you do get a fight scene where she does that, though. When she takes out, like, when she's like, you don't know who I am.
What, the Thor people, whatever?
The Asgardians.
Yeah, they die, and I think that's like a 30-second scene.
She kills... That's like a couple-minute fight scene where she kills, like... 300
If you're counting the
armed-
time where she's like talking to the one Asian dude,
and then she kills them all in like a dope fight scene.
I would argue that it
Throwing
wasn't
knives at
that
her, like
dope.
I mean,
materializing.
that scene demonstrated like her abilities, and like you said,
Yeah,
she's
it demonstrated
powerful.
like how powerful she was, sure. But I think it could have been a more over the top with action. But it was still cool action.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I just think it could have been more.
Okay.
I'll pass it off to Drew.
I went to that movie. It was exactly what I thought it would be. Exactly what I wanted from it. I wasn't. I don't think I set my bar like crazy high for this one. But I knew it was gonna be funny. I knew there was gonna be enjoyable fight scenes and all that kind of stuff. And I got what I wanted. I am going to rewatch it just because I feel like there's a lot of stuff I missed. There's a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of references that I want to see if I can get this time around. Now that I'm not, kind of just like passively watching it and just taking it in. I want to like actively search for things in this time, because I feel like the whole world is, they call it like where all lost things wind up. There has to be some reference to some obscure Marvel something or other hidden in those junk piles, or walking around in the background, one of the scenes, or in the crowd during the big fight. Like, I feel like it's just chock full of that kind of stuff, and I like looking for that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely gonna rewatch it.
Where's Waldo kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely
sure.
gonna rewatch it for that, and I think I could rewatch it just anyways. I had a good enough time. So
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I totally liked it. I think this is on the higher scale for most of the Marvel movies for me. I liked it more than like Ant-Man, and
Yeah, I'd say I liked it more than Doctor
I liked it more than
Strange.
Guardians 2, to be honest.
Interesting.
That is a
Bold.
I'm not a huge Guardians 2 fan, to be perfectly honest.
Well, I'm just defending Guardians 1. To be honest.
I love Guardians 1.
Okay, there you
I think
go.
Guardians-
You're on my team.
Yeah.
Guardians 1 is
But I'm really actually hoping for a fourth Thor movie, and I hope they continue with this, because I'm assuming Iron Man's essentially done except for cameos, because Robert Downey Jr.'s done. I would love to see another Cap
he's
movie,
done.
but I'm hedging my bets on that one, depending on whether or not Chris Evans is still interested in doing that. Although I would love to see Captain America as Bucky too, but I really think out of all the main characters that they've established early on, like the first Avengers, I think Thor seems to be the most ripe for a fourth one now.
Interesting.
I would hope so.
I think you're right after hearing that. I really do.
I mean, it took him 3 movies to get the best one, I think.
Right.
Right?
Like, just
I like this one way more than both of the other two.
with you
and
on
it-
that.
Yeah, so it
I
seems
haven't
like
seen the second one personally.
I don't know, just spend so much time on Earth and so little time on Asgard and space and stuff that they're kind of annoying. The first one's good. I like that. That was fine, even though it wasn't a lot on Asgard.
It was quotable.
But I just want to see more Asgard. I want to see more epic space stuff.
Well, tough shit. It just blew up. Like,
They call it Asgard for a second too, which was hilarious.
Jack Goldblum.
I definitely want to see more Asgard.
No, that was funny. Just
Yeah, this is fantastic. I could rewatch it, and like I think, I liked it more than several of the other movies. Like I'm with you, Andrew. I liked it more than Ant-Man. I even liked it more than Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. I like it more than Doctor Strange also.
And so I'm hoping knowing now, like I feel like now that Thor has been kind of his personality been more mastered, I'd be excited to see him in more stuff. But it's kind of excited to see like what Marvel's gonna bring, next to the table. I think next one
Black Panther.
is Black
right?
Panther.
Black
Yeah,
Panther,
and
then Infinity War.
looking forward to that.
I'm super excited for the next two ones that are coming out. Well, cool. Let's call it there. This is I Want to Talk Movies. My name is Andy.
I'm Negative Patrick.
True.
I'm Andrew. I couldn't think of a suffix.
And please like our video. You can subscribe. You can email us at iwanttottalkmovies@gmail.com. I don't know, share your thoughts and comments. But yeah, it's been fun. And go watch Thor.
Yeah, wow.